Pretty crucial game for you guys this week against a decent team in Canberra in terms of keeping touch with the South Hobarts and Olympias of the world.
Yeah, very, very important game for us. The league was good to us last week with the results that came through, and it's maintain that distance that we have, or close that gap a little bit with Olympia, and we now need to take advantage of that this week against pretty good opposition.
Must be still right in the hunt for the title come year's end?
Yeah, look, we had a chat with the other guys just before we started this, and I personally believe that it's probably out of 4 teams can still compete for the title. So I strongly believe we're still in a good position. As long as we can at least maintain that 6-point gap and no more going into the final round, I think we're in with a chance.
You said the league was good to you. Is that enough? You can't rest on your laurels now. What do you guys think you have to do to be able to take that advantage you've been given and make sure you keep up there and in the top?
I mean, the simple fact is we've got to win games. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I think the league this year has been absolutely fascinating for the game in this state. In the past years, South Hobart have run away with it, and everybody has the ability to knock everybody off this year. So the simple fact is we've got to continue winning games, and no game is an easy game.
Chris, how do you match up against the Lions?
Yeah, it's been interesting this year. We beat them in the league, but the week prior to that, we played them 2 weeks in a row, and they beat us 4-2. They came home strongly after we were 2-0 up with about 10 minutes to go. So, they've acquired the services of Billy Gaspanatis in the meantime, and Billy's a very talented player, skillful player, and intelligent player, so he's going to be a handful for us tomorrow. But look, I think we've got the players to combat them, but there's no doubt it will be a tough physical game.
A lot of the talk has focused on South Hobart and Olympia in past weeks. You guys feel comfortable sort of sitting sort of third? And
I'm really happy. They can talk about Olympia and South Hobart all they like. It doesn't worry me as long as we continue to maintain our results. The pressure's on the teams above us. We also have that pressure because we've got the likes of Canberra and Devonport and Rangers. They're sitting right on our tail. So, but if people want to talk about the top 2, not a problem.
And how are you injury-wise at the moment?
Yeah, we're not too bad. Kurt Engels has been back with us for 2 weeks now. Ricky Self is obviously back, still sort of finding his fitness. But both those players will again start for us. We've got 1 or 2 that have started to train again. Cal Griffin has commenced again, but he's got work commitments this week. So we're starting to get there. But I think at the moment, as we currently stand with the squad we'll put on the park tomorrow, I think the players that we have currently have the ability to take us through to a title.
Have we seen the best this year, or has the best would come from Hobart 7?
It's a good question. I wouldn't say this year that we've played super football. I think that there's been a lot of games throughout the league. Even with the top teams, the South Hobarts, the teams have really. There've been physical contests. There've been hard slogs, I suppose, if you want to use a pretty poor term, for a lot of teams. So the quality of football maybe at times hasn't been there, but that's going to happen. Even in the top leagues in Europe and that, you have games like that. So if you get the 3 points, I'm sure that that's the main thing that everybody wants out of the game.
Chris, since the departure of Nathan Cook, you're the centre of your defence. Is that a week-to-week proposition, or have you settled on something?
I've settled on 2 players. I've settled on Jaden Hay and Henry Fagg. I think they're totally different players. One will give you a bit more speed, and the other will give you a physical contest in the air. So it depends on the structures that are played through the opposition, I think, a little bit, as to who will play in that position. But they're the two players that, alongside Tyler Harrison at this particular time, that we will work with for the remainder of the year.